We're just days away from UFC Fight Night, Kansas City, Garry versus Carlos Prates, which means it's time for me to break down every single fight on this card, starting with the first fight, going all the way up to the main event, Garry versus Carlos Prates, as I just said. If you haven't seen, I actually did a video about this main event a few days ago. I have a feeling about Garry, it's called, so if you haven't seen that, go check it out. Think it's kind of informative if you want a bit more insight into the main event. But without further ado, let me jump right into this card. First fight of the night, we have Chelsea Chandler versus Joselyn Edwards. Incredible fight to start the card. You know, Chelsea Chandler lost her last one out to Vianna Santos, which was kind of sad. You know, Vianna Santos is like at the later end of her career. She's like a gatekeeper to the unranked women's fighters, I'd say. Joselyn Edwards, she's not bad, you know. She's usually able to implement her grappling. I mean, she lost 2 in a row to Eileen Perez and Nora Cornhole, but come on. Perez is on a tear, and Cornhole, she just got a nice submission win. She's looking pretty good. Chelsea Chandler, I'm not going to give her much credit. I remember her turning her back from Norma Dumont and sprinting directly into the cage. I'm not forgetting about that. And Joselyn Edwards is usually good at implementing a game plan, getting her the fight to the ground, you know, getting her grappling off. I think that's what she's going to be able to do. She has a good amount of UFC experience as well. So I'm going to go with Joselyn Edwards to take home a decision victory here over Chelsea Chandler. That's going to be the official pick. Next fight, Timmy Cuamba versus Roberto Romero. Timmy Cuamba versus Roberto Romero. Oh, what a fight this is. You know, Timmy Cuamba, this guy, he got hyped quite a bit coming into the UFC. He had a really close fight with Blackshear, went to a split decision. I thought he was going to beat Lucas Almeida for sure, but he got unanimous decision to Lucas Almeida. And if I'm not, Lucas Almeida just got finished, right, in like the first round, or just got beat up. It was a split decision loss to Danny Silva, I guess, but I thought it was going to be finished with Danny Silva, but Timmy Cuamba couldn't beat Lucas Almeida. Roberto Romero, this guy lost to David Onama unanimously, but a lot of people are picking him here over Timmy Cuamba. I don't know. I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sold on Roberto Romero. He did have a close fight, or he made it to a decision with David Onama. I don't know. I still like Timmy Cuamba. I still like Timmy Cuamba quite a bit. You know, I don't think he's... No, I don't know. I guess we're going to have to go with Roberto Romero here. Timmy Cuamba couldn't beat Lucas Almeida, couldn't beat Blackshear, who hasn't looked incredible recently either. He got finished in like a minute by Chris Duncan. He might have a fight after that, but Roberto Romero probably going to get this one done by a decision, I'll say. And then we're moving on to the next fight. Jaqueline Amorim versus Polyana Vianna. Oh, what a fight. Jaqueline Amorim's coming off of a submission win over Vanessa Demopoulos. She did glove grab to get the armbar and all that, but, I mean, they let it happen. She armbarred Corey McKenna as well. Polyana Vianna, like, she's two-fight losing streak now. Lost to Jillian Robertson. Lost to Yasmin Lucindo. She beat Jinyu Frey. Mallory Martin, oh, man. Yeah, it's got to be Jaqueline Amorim here. You can't really pick Polyana Vianna. I get it. She's going to have all these simps that have her OnlyFans fucking hyping her up like she's a title contender and all this. Oh, she beat up a robber once, guy. People forget, man. Polyana Vianna, she attacked a robber attacked her, and she held the robber off until the cops got there. People forget, man. But she's not beating Jaqueline Amorim. Amorim's going to armbar her, submit her probably sometime in this fight. Her game's just a bit better. 9-1 compared to 13-7. I think that speaks for itself. So we're going to go with Jaqueline Amorim by submission win in the first or second round. Probably second round. Polly's no chump. She's no chump, but I think Amorim's just going to be a bit better on the ground. Moving on. Cameron Saiiman versus Malcom Wellmaker. I'm scared. I'm scared for Cameron Saiiman. I want this guy to succeed. You know, he knocked Terrence Mitchell the fuck out. He's been on a tough back-to-back losses. You know, Christian Rodriguez unanimously. That'll happen, I guess. You'll lose to Christian Rodriguez most of the time unless you're not a prospect. Peyton Talbot absolutely beat this dude up just for 2 rounds. Cameron Saiiman looked terrible. I wouldn't say he looked terrible, but Peyton Talbot just looked like levels above him and knocked him out in the 2nd round. Malcom Wellmaker, this guy's knocking people out, man. He's knocking people out, and he got a glorious knockout win on the Contender Series. He has a 4.5-inch reach advantage here. They're kind of setting him up a bit. You got to go with Malcom Wellmaker, unfortunately, guys. You got to go with Malcom Wellmaker. Unless Cameron Saiiman has completely turned his game around, which, like, I mean, he does have the UFC experience. He could win this one. Like, I'm not counting him out. But I think Wellmaker, he's really impressed me. I like his stand-up's really good, and I think he's probably going to be able to beat up Cameron Saiiman on the feet. Maybe get a finish, probably a round 2 or round 3 TKO win for Malcom Wellmaker is going to be the pick. Moving on, Blackshear versus Alatengheili. Oh man, Blackshear, he fought a month ago against Cody Gibson and got a really fast submission win. Not much damage sustained. I mean, actually, now that I think about it, there was a little bit of damage sustained. Like, on the feet, Cody Gibson knocked him down, I think, in the 1st round, didn't he? Or he stumbled him or rocked him or something. Like, Cody Gibson was winning on the feet in the 1st round, from what I remember. And then Blackshear got on the mic after and was pretending like he was winning on the feet, even though he wasn't. And then, yeah, anyways, that was only a month ago. Alatengheili, he hasn't fought in nearly a year. Kletzen Rodriguez, Chris Gutierrez was his last loss. I don't know, man. I could see Alatengheili taking this one, but you're going to have to go with Blackshear, like, to implement his grappling. It is incredible, his grappling. He probably gets a submission win. Has Alatengheili. He's only been submitted once back in Aliskerov in 2017, so I don't know. I'm going to take Blackshear to take a decision win here. I don't think he gets the submission. Especially, like, he only had 4 weeks to train for this. He'll probably be going for the decision, I think. Blackshear, all 3 rounds, most likely. But he's taking that unanimous decision win. Moving on, Chris Gutierrez versus John Castaneda, the fight that may never be. I don't know if this is actually going to happen. Who knows? I feel like this has been booked twice now. No, probably only once. John Castaneda was supposed to fight someone else. Douglas Silva to Andrade. It became Chris Gutierrez. Was supposed to be a few weeks ago. Was canceled, rebooked for this event. I'm still picking Chris Gutierrez, guys. I really still don't understand why the odds are this close. I get Chris Gutierrez is like win one, lose one. But look who he's losing against. Like Pedro Munoz and Song Yadong. Maybe not Pedro Munoz to the same extent. But I feel like they're definitely above the level of John Castaneda. And Song Yadong for sure, but Pedro Munoz might be at least 1 or 2 levels above John Castaneda. I don't think Chris Gutierrez is going to be losing to a guy like this. And, I mean, he did lose to Daniel Marcos last time out. He was on a little bit of a run, but Muin Gafarov and Kyung Ho Kang, I feel like, are not the same. Like, Chris Gutierrez is just crafty. He's just an odd, funky striker. I was saying the same thing about Sean Woodson, so this might turn bad. This might age badly here. Who knows? Who fucking knows at this point, man? He beat Miles Johns, though. Fuck, I'm going Chris Gutierrez. I already made this pick a few weeks ago. I'm not changing it up. It's got to be Chris Gutierrez by a decision. Is going to be the official pick. And we're moving on. Good thing I didn't record my picks yesterday, man. I was going to, and this fight wasn't even on the card at the time. It was Evan Elder was supposed to fight Ahmed Hazanzada, but some circumstances made that guy pull off the card. You know, some accusations, I'll just say, some bad accusations, I'll say. Who knows if they'll turn out to be true or not, but that's why he's pulled off the card. And we get Gage Young instead. where do I know Gage Young from? That's where I know him from. He lost on Contender Series. He put up a hell of a fight for Quinlan Salkeld, but Quinlan Salkeld just beat him up over 3 rounds. This is a guy who is giving up a loss on his record to get into the UFC. I know it when I see it. Evan Elder is just a better... He's fought better competition than Gage Young. There's no way Evan Elder loses to a Gage Young on a week's notice when he had a full training camp. I don't think Evan Elder's incredible or anything, but I know when a fighter who wasn't in the UFC is giving a loss on his... I know when he's trying to get a loss on his record to just get into the UFC. I can see it. Gage Young is trying to just get another... He's going 9-3 to get into the UFC. That's what he pretty much said. He said, I'm going 9-3 and I get the UFC. When he got that call on a week's notice, he goes, I'll lose and I get the contract. That's his mentality. That's what a lot of these guys do. Some of these guys come in undefeated and then they'll just give up that O just to get in the UFC. You saw it a few weeks ago, that light heavyweight guy that accepted the Martin Buday. He wasn't a heavyweight by any means. There was no reason for him to be fighting Martin Buday on a week's notice. He was a light heavyweight, but he gave up his undefeated record to get into the UFC. That's what happened. I'm forgetting that guy's name. I gotta look it up now. Martin Buday. Yuran Sati Baldiev, that guy. He gave up an undefeated record or a loss on his record. I can't remember if he was fully undefeated, but he gave up a loss on his record just to get in the UFC. It happens all the time. I think the undefeated those records are like 7 out of 18 like win-loss record this year for undefeated guys coming in the UFC, giving up their winning their debut fight. You guys know what I mean. But Gage Young, he's given up a loss on his record to get in the UFC is my entire point here. Evan Elder is just a bit better than Gage Young. He's fought better competition. He's 9-2, but that's UFC competition mostly. And Gage Young, he got beat the fuck up by this Dana White Contender Series. Quinlan Salkeld's good. He could turn out to be a champion in the future, but he got beat the fuck up for 3 rounds, had nothing to give. Evan Elder is he's on a higher level. Evan Elder wins this fight probably by decision. Moving on. Cannot wait for this one. Oh my god. Matt Schnell, Jimmy Flick, battle of the fucking washed veterans. Both of these guys, I swear to God, I watched a retirement ceremony from in the last year, and they're somehow in front of me on Topology.com saying they fight next week. It doesn't make sense. I swear to God, I remember Matt Schnell laying his gloves down after he lost his last one to Cody Durden. And Jimmy Flick, I swear to God, both these guys are retired. I don't understand what we're doing here. Matt Schnell's a minus 300. In 2025, Matt Schnell is a minus 300. I don't give a fuck who he's fighting. Matt Schnell is a minus 300 in 2025. And, I mean, I'm picking him to win. I think I'd be insane if I'm picking Jimmy Flick to win a fight. But Jimmy Flick has... I mean, Jimmy Flick's won a fight more recently than Matt Schnell. You know? At least Jimmy Flick got a finish over Malcolm Gordon. That was last January. Matt Schnell hasn't won a fight since 2023. Oh my god. What are we doing here? Why is this fight happening? I swear to God, both these guys retired. I don't remember any of these guys announcing that they were coming back. I don't. I'm going to go with Matt Schnell to win. I think he's going to lace up a submission at some point in this fight. Has Jimmy Flick been submitted before? He's never been submitted before. Holy fuck, what am I saying? Matt Schnell's going to ground and pound this dude. He's going to... Matt the Danger Schnell, man. Oh my god. What is going to happen here? Matt doesn't even KO guys. I hate this fight. I hate this fight. I hate this fight. Oh my god. Am I picking fucking Jimmy Flick? You know what? You know what, guys? You know what, guys? I'm gonna go with Jimmy Flick. Not just for shits and giggles here. I just think Matt Schnell does not have it anymore. I don't understand why he's back in this fight. He's lost so many times by submission, though. Like 3 times by submission. And that's his last loss, was a submission loss. He got guillotined in 2022. I mean, Jimmy Flick, this guy, he knows how to fucking lace up a submission. I think Jimmy Flick's going to submit Matt Schnell. I don't know. I think he's going to submit him. I hate picking Jimmy Flick. I really dislike this fight. I hate that I have to pick one side in this fight. But Matt Schnell minus 300 in 2025? No way. No way. Jimmy Flick by submission. Oh my god. Am I not confident in either one of them? Jimmy Flick by submission is the pick. Moving on. Ikram Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz. This is an interesting one. What level really is Ikram Aliskerov on? He's a minus 600? I mean, that's kind of crazy. He's a minus 600? I mean, 5 knockout losses. I get it. I guess so. As a Matt knocked him out. Yeah, okay. Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. I see what they're doing here. I don't think it's a sure thing, though, but Ikram Aliskerov probably knocks out Andre Muniz, who's been knocked out 5 times before and got knocked out by Paul Craig. I don't think it's a sure thing, though. I mean, Andre Muniz, no. We're going Ikram Aliskerov. What am I saying? He's going to knock out Andre Muniz most likely in the first round. They obviously see something I don't in this guy. I think Ikram sucks. I think the dude's terrible. Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby. Anyways, I'm picking Ikram in that fight by KO. Randy Brown versus Nicholas Dalby. Randy Brown minus 200 over Nicholas Dalby, 40 years old, coming off a split decision to Renat Fakhretdinov, who, I think he should have won that fight. Randy Brown just lost a split decision to Brian Battle. That was a pretty bad fight from Brian Battle. But Randy Brown's a funky dude, He's got a reach advantage here. He's going to win this fight most likely. He's got a reach and height advantage, but, Sean Woodson did that. He had that as well, and he had absolutely nothing to give against Dan Ige, so who knows. But Randy Brown should win this fight. He's got the funky striking style. He's good at throwing out a peppery jab from range, keeping you at the end of his jab. I'm saying the same things about Sean Woodson last week, and that really didn't pan out. But I'm going to go with Randy Brown here over Nicholas Dalby, who's 40 years old. And you guys know how I feel about picking 40-year-olds winning fights. I don't do it. We're going Randy Brown. Moving on. Michel Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. Interesting. Abus Magomedov is on a 2-fight win streak. He beat Warley Alves, which is kind of a nothing win. He beat Bruno Ferreira, which I'll give a bit more stock to. He was able to out-grit Bruno Ferreira in that fight, eat a lot of his power shots and gas him out and get him in a submission. You got to commend him a bit. He was able to ride the storm out of Bruno Ferreira, which a lot of people aren't able to do. Michel Pereira, his last fight was pretty sad against Anthony Hernandez, but Anthony Hernandez is a title contender, and I'm sick of this guy being like. I'm sick of pretending like Anthony Hernandez is not as good as he actually is. This guy is incredible. I've got to give him the respect he deserves at this point. And I just picked Anthony Hernandez to beat Brendan Allen, and he convincingly did. Michel Pereira had nothing to give against him, but I mean, Anthony Hernandez is a really good grappler, and that's how he beats those guys. He just grinds them out on the ground. Michel Pereira, though, his stand-up's really good. He's a 5-inch reach disadvantage here, though. I just don't know how long he can last in a fight like this. You know, if this goes to the second and third round, who's got more to give? Is it Michel Pereira, who we only saw have like 50 seconds of cardio in his last fight, or is it Abus Magomedov, who actually showed a bit more cardio in his last fight, was able to go to the second round and out-grit a guy like Bruno Ferreira, who's usually pretty tough to get out of there? This is I'm going back and forth on this one. I really am. I hyped up Michel Pereira a lot before that Anthony Hernandez fight. I thought Michel Pereira was going to knock him out. He does look a lot better at middleweight, to be fair. That was the only time he looked even, like, touchable at middleweight was against Anthony Hernandez. I'm going to go with Michel Pereira here. And I can see this, I can already see this backfiring. I can see this aging pretty badly. In my head, I can see Abus Magomedov. Why am I picking him then? Fuck. I'm picking Abus Magomedov. I can see it, man. I can see Michel getting outworked and gassing out. And I just don't... I think Abus can take a bit of damage. I don't think he's going to be knocked out in the first or second round. Like Sean Strickland was, but... I think Sean Strickland's striking might be a bit harder to deal with than Michel Pereira. I don't know. I'm going Abus Magomedov. If I'm picking Michel Pereira, I'm completely disregarding his last performance, which was terrible. Like, I cannot pretend like his last performance didn't happen. I remember it. And Abus Magomedov has actually shown improvements since the Cal Barallo fight. Like, the Sean Strickland fight is one thing. Cal Barallo is also a title contender on the rise right now. I don't hold much against him for that fight. He was able to go all 3 rounds, a tough 3 rounds. And, you know, he's on a win streak. I got to go with Abus Magomedov here. I feel a lot better about that than saying Michel Pereira is going to magically fix a cardio issue that was pretty glaring in the last fight. Abus Magomedov by decision is the pick. Next fight, Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. Listen, you guys can't say I don't pick underdogs. I'm picking Giga. David Onama lost to Nate Landwehr. And I just don't think he's been incredible. Like, the guys he's fighting, Roberto, Romero, Jonathan Pierce, Gabriel Santos. Like, I mean, Gabriel Santos is actually looking pretty good. He just got a really dominant win over Jack Jenkins, right? I'm pretty sure. Jonathan Pierce and Roberto Romero, I don't really think they're incredible. Giga, he was in that fight with Arnold Allen. Like, that was a close fight. He took the first round of that fight with Arnold Allen, and then Arnold Allen sets into it like he does and ends up winning. But Giga was still in that fight. I get he's at the later end of his career, 36, but he's still really in there. And I think this is one that he's going to win. Like, I don't think David Onama is a title. I don't think he's going to be getting the title in his career. At least at the stage he's at right now. I think Giga is going to be able to beat him up on the feet and take home a decision victory. Yeah, so I'm going to go with Giga Chikadze. I think Giga's really good. I like his kicks. I like his striking a lot. And David Onama, I feel, has been not incredible at times. Like, I feel like he's been a bit disappointing at some times. So we're going to go with Giga Chikadze to take home a decision victory. Moving on to the co-main event. Oh my god. Oh my god, what a fight this is. Who made this fight? Who made this fight? Oh my. We've got Lionheart, Anthony Smith versus Ming Yang, Mountain Tiger, Zhang. That's a scary fucking nickname. Ming Yang Zhang, this guy, people forget, man, this guy knocked Tuco out. Oh, people forget, man. He had Tuco fucking dead in the fucking corner of the cage, man. Anthony Smith, man, you just cannot pick him to win. I don't know why he's still here. His last fight against Dominic Reyes, he showed up crying, bawling his eyes out, and I understand the circumstance that he had at the time. Just pull out of the fight, man. You know? Just pull. If it's that bad, just pull out of the fight, man. You know? You don't gotta show up and just get battered. You can pull it. There's therapy for a reason, buddy. You can go talk to someone. You don't have to show up and just get battered and then sign. He's getting knocked out in this fight. He's gonna get knocked out in this fight. I don't see any other way this fight goes. I don't see Mingyang Zhang shooting a lazy single leg attempt and giving up his neck and tapping out to a guillotine choke, a la Vitor Petrino. I still don't understand why Vitor Petrino shot a double leg or a single leg takedown on Anthony Smith in the first minute of the fight. You should have just striked with him. But I guess Vitor Petrino also got knocked out by Justin Jacoby, so maybe he's not that good anyways. Mingyang Zhang is going to run through this guy. I cannot wait for this one, man. Anthony Smith, what did you do to the matchmakers to deserve this? I don't know what you could have possibly did. They must be friends with Michael Bisping. They must be friends with Michael Bisping, trying to get one back at you for leaving that fucking Believe You Me podcast, man. You should have given him notice. Now you got Mingyang Zhang running at you full force. There's no way that Anthony Smith beats Mingyang Zhang. Mingyang's only 26? How is he only 26 years old? I thought Mingyang's like 30. Jesus. Mingyang might go on a run, guys. Mingyang might go on a run. Mingyang might end up being a fucking title challenger at one. Man, that's a fun light heavyweight. If Mingyang ends up fighting for a title, that would be insane. We're going Mingyang Zhang by a round 1 or round 2 TKO win in this fight. There's no way Anthony Smith. There's no way. I will not entertain the idea of Anthony Smith beating Mingyang Zhang. 37-21 is a criminal record. He should be behind bars. Anyways, main event time. Ian Garry versus Carlos Prates. It's time. Listen, I made a video. I've set the path, you know. There's no going back. The train only goes one way. People forget, man, Ian Garry had the back of Shavkat Rakhmonov. People forget, man, he's really rounding out his game with Shootbox. People forget, man, those steel cups, man, they really help out those arm bars. All I have to say, guys, go watch Michal Romanchuk versus Carlos Vega on YouTube. That's Carlos Prates. That's what he used to go by, I guess. You go look up that fight on YouTube. And you just tell me there's not a world where Ian Garry takes over this fight. Romanchuk Michal beat Carlos Prates up and TKO'd him in the first round of the fight. Carlos Prates waved to the referee and sat down. And I cannot get that vision out of my head, man. We haven't seen Carlos go 5 tough rounds, you know? This guy's only talking about smoking cigarettes every day, those Newports. I don't see him being if anyone's showing off incredible 5-round cardio here, it's not Carlos Prates. I think we can all agree there. Ian Garry went 5 tough rounds with Shavkat Rakhmonov. Regardless of what you feel about Shavkat Rakhmonov, he is a title contender right now. Going to be challenging for the belt after he's healthy. So, that's a pretty impressive fight. No matter what you think of Shavkat Rakhmonov, he is going to be fighting for the belt next. Carlos Prates, he got outstruck by Jeff Neal in that fight, in the first fight of his career. He got outstruck 3-1 in that fight. Trevin Giles. Sorry, not Jeff Neal. He was supposed to fight Jeff Neal. Trevin Giles. He got outstruck in this fight. pretty badly, you know. First round 35-24. Second round 33-13 before the knockout. And I get it. He had Trevin Giles staring up at the lights. How many times are you just going to find a magic KO and just win the fight because of that? And I get it. He could knock out Ian Garry. Ian Garry did get knocked down from Kanon Song earlier in his career. He got rocked by Shavkat Rakhmonov. Magomedov Page even landed a nice right hand at one moment. But Ian Garry's grappling and like defensive prowess is pretty good, and I just can't pretend like it's not at this point. I've been picking against Ian Garry, and I got it right last time, but I got it wrong when I picked MVP. Even though MVP should have won on the feet the entire fight, he was winning on the feet. What happened? He got his back taken. He got taken down. He got controlled. Do I think Carlos Prates is going to be able to get out of these positions that Ian Garry will get him in, like having the back of Carlos Prates? No, I think Garry might be able to do at will what he wants with Carlos Prates on the ground. We haven't seen Carlos Prates grappling. That's a big thing here, you know? Ian Garry trains with the best grapplers in shoot box. They're no chumps. I think there's a difference in gyms between shoot box and fighting nerds. Fighting nerds is more stand-up oriented. Shoot box, they're drilling those submissions. They're drilling the back takes. Ian Garry round 3 or 4 submission win is going to be what I'm going with here. I don't see it going all 5. I think he does find a submission win over Carlos Prates at a certain point. I don't think Carlos will be able to go all 5. I think he gasses out, gives a lot less in the 3rd round, in the 4th round, and Ian Garry takes over, sets into this fight, takes the back, gets a dominant position, gets a submission win, or a TKO on the ground. Ian Garry finishes this fight. Gets a big win over Carlos Prates, cements his name, calls for a title shot. Yeah, that's going to be the pick. Ian Garry by a round 3 or 4 finish. Submission I'm leaning towards. I could see a TKO. Let me know what you think. That's all the picks on the card. Yeah, I think Ian Garry gets this done. I think Ian Garry gets this done. Again, if you have not seen that Ian Garry, I have a feeling about Ian Garry, go watch that. Check it out. Yeah, that's the picks. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.